Is AI a friend or a foe? For that, I would like to invite our next speaker, Mr. Dror, the CEO of the Israel Innovation Authority, which will try to address this question. Mr.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Happy to see such a crowd here this morning. Welcome to the visitors from abroad. Well, there is ongoing discussion whether artificial intelligence is going to be a friend or a foe of humanity. But this is actually not the angle I'm going to speak about today. I would like to speak about whether AI is going to be a friend or a foe of the Israeli high-tech. I'm sure it's not a surprise when I'll mention the numbers of Israeli high-tech. It's reached in 2023 already 1/5 of Israeli GDP, more than 50% of exports. It has become very pivotal to the Israeli economy. But not only to Israel, also when we compare ourselves to other tech hubs in the world, Israel is ranked very, very high. Depends how you measure and which indicator you take, but it's basically either in one of the 5 first places. Just to give one indicator, the number of high-tech companies in Israel is more than 9,000. This is the third number in the world. Number 1 is Silicon Valley, number 2 is the New York metropolitan area, and number 3 is Israel. So Israel is very competitive, is in the top league of tech hubs in the world. And obviously, when you talk about a technology such as AI, which is maybe the most disruptive technology that we are familiar with today, you ask yourself, how is it going to influence the Israeli high-tech success? And this is especially true in these challenging days that we are in, starting mid-22, sharp decline in investments in the high-tech globally and in Israel. Starting early 23, the political debate and crisis here that did not add any good things to our perception in the world and the high-tech, and of course the war that started and was forced upon us at the beginning of Q4. All of those pose many challenges to the Israeli high-tech. I will not talk about them today. I speak about them in many other occasions. But what I want to say is that despite those challenging times which are specific to Israel, we should not lose our sight with what's happening in the race for artificial intelligence in the world, because this is going to influence heavily the success of Israel in the next coming decades even. So let's start and see if it's a friend or a foe. But before that, for those of you that come from abroad, I will just very shortly introduce, is it moving or not? Let's see, maybe there. No, not moving. Okay, I'll speak without the slides maybe. Anyhow, oh, now it's moving. So the Israel Innovation Authority is the government agency who is responsible for the Israeli high-tech or for the competitiveness of the Israeli high-tech versus other tech hubs. We fulfill this mission by direct investments. Direct investments in companies in the form of grants, and also in developing the policies for the government on how to reduce or remove growth barriers. I'm sorry, there is some problem here with the slides. Maybe someone from the backstage can help. Okay, now it's working. Anyhow, we invest about $500 million every year in the Israeli high-tech, which I believe makes us the largest fund in the world. Now, let's talk about whether AI is a friend or a foe. Well, there are many ranks done by or rankings done by independent institutes across the world that want to measure different countries and ecosystems and say whether they are leading the AI race or not. And I want to share with you some of them. The first one is Tertes, very well-known ranking for this domain of artificial intelligence. Well, they say that per capita we are number 2 in the world. We are ranked very high on the commercialization of AI from the academia to the industry, on research and development, and on talent. Israel is the place with the highest concentration of talent of AI in the world. Even not per capita, but in absolute numbers, we are ranked number 7. So this is the first ranking. There are more. Those two rankings, one by the Stanford University, which is measuring the investments in AI by geography in the last decade, more or less. You see that Israel is ranked number 3 after the US, number 4 after the US, China, and the UK. And also in terms of number of newly funded AI startups, Israel is ranked number 4. So at least today, we are ranked very high in the terms of assimilation of AI into the high-tech industry. This is, by the way, also in correlation to an independent research that we have done about the companies. I mentioned before that there are 9,000 high-tech companies in Israel. Well, already 2,200 out of them assimilated AI deeply into their services and products. And what is also very surprising, that it's not only in the classical software-based companies like fintech or cyber or enterprise software. As you can see, it is across all sectors of the high-tech, including agro and food and transportation and just any other sector in the country. But we hear very often the claim that, yes, Israel is very strong on artificial intelligence, but it's missing the race on generative AI. So I want to present here for the first time an analysis that we just finished about generative AI and where we stand with that. And I think you'll find this very interesting. First of all, we have segmented the market between 3 different segments. One, the lowest one, is those foundation models, example, OpenAI or ChatGPT. The product itself is building the model and providing APIs to other companies to use these models for their business needs. The middle segment is actually companies who develop their own foundation model, but they use it by themselves. They don't open APIs for others to use it. And the last segment are those companies that are just using AI, using those foundation models at the bottom of this graph. What do you think are the numbers in terms of those segments? Well, the upper one is thousands of companies. The middle one is 1,900, and the bottom one is only 18 companies across the globe, okay? This is, I think, first of all, already a first very interesting insight. But obviously, we want to see where does Israel stand in all those segments. So the top one you already saw, very high. But in the bottom one and the middle one, let's see. So first of all, the middle one, the large task-specific model creators by country. Well, Israel is ranked number 3. 73 companies in Israel develop their own foundation model for their own product and service. An example, Lightrix, I saw that they are one of the sponsors of this event. And now, generative AI, the platforms, the foundation models themselves, well, again, we are number 4 or 3, depends how you put it on the graph. One single company out of 18 is located in Israel. I'm sure you all know the name. It's AI21. But still, you see that also in generative AI, Israel is ranked very high as we speak. But this is obviously not enough, because AI might become a foe of Israeli high-tech because things are changing very fast. It's a fast-evolving technology. All the countries in the world invest very heavily in this technology, and we don't want to be in a situation where we lose the race. And this is why we also focus on areas where Israel is ranked very low. And I think Professor Feder also mentioned one or two of the things. First of all, government strategy, number 47 in the world. infrastructure, availability of GPUs on our land for the use of research and development, and operating environment, like for instance, regulation. So on all of these, we are ranked very high, while other countries, as I said before, are moving fast. You can see here headlines from different countries in the West and the East. Everyone understands that AI is something they must own locally in their country. And this is why we need to look ahead and act fast in order to make sure that we keep our very best, our very good rank in this race. This is why we have formed already, I think we started out 3 years ago, the National Plan or Program for Artificial Intelligence. This is a cooperation of all the relevant entities in the government that deal with R&D. It's both the academia, the defense sector, and the industry, all of us coming together, budgeting a national program and executing certain things which are related to government strategy, to talent, to data assets, to supercomputer, and so forth and so on. I will not get into the details because of the lack of time, but this program is ongoing in order to tackle those places where we are ranked low in the world. Just to give you a notion, this plan is budgeted currently by $250 million. By the end of 2024, we expect to be in 60% execution of this plan, and by 2027 at full execution of the plan. And this plan might be budgeted with additional budget and grow as we go, because the race is not ending anytime soon. I will mention the supercomputer. This is one of the big lacks in the local ecosystem. When a company, high-tech company or researcher want to train a large model of data, he has to buy time in the cloud. There is no local data center with a significant amount of GPUs that can train those models here. And we are going to launch a tender in a couple of weeks for building such a supercomputer here in Israel that will be available for researchers and for companies at lower cost than the market cost. We want to make sure that it's available to any startup, that it's an affordable cost to anyone. The investment is going to be at least $55 million and secure at least the first supercomputer that will be established locally in Israel. So follow up for this call for proposals that is going to come out very soon. This plan, as I said, is evolving. Again, from the reason I don't have enough time, I will not go into all the details, but I do encourage you to search for the website of the plan. There is a specific website of the national program that details all the things that already have been executed and all the things that are planned. And I'm sure that you can find there very interesting things. I will mention also the new Deep Tech Startup Fund that we have launched in the Innovation Authority a couple of months ago. The purpose of this grants fund is to make sure that deep tech startups from the ideation phase through pre-seed, seed, and round A will have an optimal financing environment for them. Don't just, if there is an entrepreneur or a CEO in the audience, don't just write on the application AI, because today everyone is saying they use AI. It has to be deep tech. It has to be with significant technological risk and depth, and only then there is a probability to win this grant. But anyhow, again, if you are not familiar with this fund, I encourage you to look for it. It's really a game changer for deep tech ventures in Israel. So just to sum up, our goal in the Innovation Authority and all the other partners of the national program is to make sure and to secure that Israel sustains its leadership ranking and position in the AI race in the world, because we all understand this is a fundamental technology that is going to change any sector of the high tech. And we need to make sure that we, Israel, the local ecosystem remains in the forefront of this technology too. Thank you very much.